tonight to represent Team 880. And I got to say, David Laws, I think that's to my advantage.
It's going to be hard for these individuals to all get on the same page when they've been fighting at each other's throats for the last couple months. But, you can wind up forging a pretty good team from your enemies. Look at how Gannon Jones Jr. and Duke Davis came together to be TME after fighting against each other in the past.
Yeah, look, I will say this. I think Den of Desire and the Runway, their animosity has created some great matches, but I think it also has created some respect between each other.
If they are style and finesse and all that is fine, I would say the Brotherhood, Angelo Carter and Joseph Alexander are just pure, tough, raw talent.
Look, and I think you can kind of see the motif of the individuals that I've been recruiting, which is, you got to have a little bit of a swagger. You got to have a mean streak in you. That's what we're looking for in Team Black Hand Society. Now, Honey Darling, just her hat got knocked off. That's disrespectful to a woman.
Well, Black Hand Society has never really played by the rules. Right?
No.
And so you're not going to go out and recruit people that are just going to come in here and say, "Oh, I have to break the hold when I get on the ropes. I have until 5 to let go of it." No, you're not looking for that.
We play by our own rules and no one else's, not even our own.
And I would say that you break the rules all day. Do you know why they call them all day?
No.
Because you can go all day.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Den Desire, Runway, clearly the fan favorites. I think the Brotherhood, A-Game, and Angelo Carter, a little shocked by that.
Well, if they gave out awards here for who was beloved by the fans, then we wouldn't even have a show here
Correct.
today, Marcus.
And now, not the reaction they were expecting.
Yeah, they got about as many cheers as you would expect them to get at a rally in Butler County, Marcus.
Well, with that team, absolutely.
They're not going to be making any of the blanks of the day for Antonio Brown on Twitter.
No, not at all. Now, Den Desire, Runway going back up. Again, very well liked.
And you want to talk about two individuals that have come a long way in their short careers, Marco Narciso and Blizzy Blake.
Absolutely. I think the hottest tag team in Pittsburgh right now. And again, the Brotherhood.
Well, certainly one of the most popular.
Yeah, Alexander and Carter all, again, trying to get a little bit of acceptance from this crowd.
And, if I know the Runway as well as I do, I would have to imagine that there is going to be some type of pose-off coming.
Yeah, they love a good pose-off.
The close-off pose-off, if you will, Marcus.
Yeah, and everyone going back up to prove once again what we already know, that people love. And that was a mistake. I think they got baited into that one, David Lawless.
Yeah, I think they wanted to get too much from the fans, and they already had it.
And now just 4-corner action. And now Irish whip, reversal, everyone stops. Uh-oh, quadruple noggin knocker. And now we're back into the corners. Action going everywhere. Carter in the corner, squaring off with Blizzy Blake. Again, everyone in the corners. And I don't know, what is this?
Looks like we're going to be
doing
some...
Oh! Everyone exchanging corners. Everyone with action. Are we going to do it again?
Oh, now we're going crisscross here.
Crisscross. Pair of stinger splashes.
Excuse me, those are designer highlights.
Designer highlights. And now another one. And this is starting off bad. This is starting off bad for me. Calvin Couture with an elbow. Up, going Air Blizzy.
Shades of Jeff Hardy there.
Is that where you go? I went Juventud Guerrero. Now Calvin Couture whipped in to Bonner. And now maybe another little Air Blizzy again. He gets up there. He gets up there pretty high.
Uh-oh, and I think we know what we're going to see. We're going to see the total package here.
Oh, no. I don't like this. And Carter and Alexander trying to save each other, but can't.
And I've been on the receiving end of this, Marcus, and let me tell you what it feels like, just getting your head pounded repeatedly into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, have you taken it from Tyler Klein or just Marco Narciso?
Just Marco, but Marco's the innovator of this.
Wow, Marco is an innovator of a lot in 880 wrestling. And now the Brotherhood from behind.
The innovator of crotch violence, if you will.
Absolutely. That should be a T-shirt for Marco Narciso. As Bonner and RJ now trying to get a little bit of order and make this an actual tag team match, which that's smart.
The more experienced tag team, the Brotherhood, RJ Booker and Iron Mike Bonner come to us. They've held tag team gold in 2PW Wrestling. They've been together for about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Very cohesive, powerful unit.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about tag team titles, you know, as a former tag team champion yourself, how hard it is to, cover here. How hard it is to, one, win a tag team titles, but two, to find someone that you gel with enough to become a champion.
Right, and I think it took a little bit of time for the Brotherhood to really come together. Conspicuous by his absence is Julian J. But, the Brotherhood come in here, and you add Joseph Alexander and Angelo Carter, phenomenal individual competitors in their own right, and you put together a really good foursome. And
only a 2 count on a lackadaisical pin there.
Not to get back to a point you made earlier, Marcus, but I thought it was an astute one. The first half of the show, you saw the elimination of Jack Pollock, MV Young, and TME, all as competitors that can no longer compete as we move into the second half of the Best of 7 series.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of pieces off the board, and we got a very good tag team in the Brotherhood. And Angelo Carter and A-Game Alexander, who know each other very well, trained at T2 Brooklyn together. We've seen them in 880 Wrestling have phenomenal matches with Reese Hayes for the 880 Championship. Fans of 880 will be very familiar. If this is your first time checking us out here for 880 Wrestling, I invite you to go back and check out those matches with Reese Hayes. Very, very good action.
Speaking of a man that I have an immense amount of respect for, Reese Hayes, he's been taken to the limit by every single person in this ring when he held the 880 title. And, quite frankly, we talk about the lack of experience amongst most of the competitors in this match, but the amount of time and the reps that they've got in that short window make up for the lack of years or gray hairs, if you will.
Well, yeah, and look, Reese Hayes, we will see him a little later on tonight. Maybe, if the main event actually does happen, we is tied 2-2. Reese Hayes, in my opinion, the second worst 880 champion of all time. I put him just above Cowpoke Puff.
Who barely held that title.
Barely. Just above.
Wonder who beat him for it.
Yeah.
But now we see the Brotherhood and Iron Mike Bonner tag in all day. RJ Booker in full control, trying to get the support of the crowd here. But again, Marcus, one strategy when you're in these multi-person tag matches, you've got to isolate the person, and you just see Marco getting, annihilated.
Yeah. Cover only a 2. I will say the advantage that Marco has is that length. And as a tag competitor, when you have that extra length, you can get to a corner a little bit more easier. It's what's made TME so successful is that length and being able to make those tags. And Marco Narciso, I think what's made Marco very, very successful as a tag wrestler is that length and that ability to make those tags when necessary.
The question I have, though, Marcus, is you look at the personalities on the other side of the ring, right? You've got Blizzy, who's understated,
yes,
right, but still ostentatious. Yeah. Then you've got the Runway, which,
which ostentatious.
There's not even a word, super ostentatious, but, who do you tag? Whose personality wins out?
Well, and I think that all comes down to the strategy from the outside in a Honey Darling. That's what a manager brings you, and someone like Honey Darling is going to be saying, listen to me, this is who you tag, this is what you need to do. Yeah. And Marco is going to make that tag, and it is going to be to Calvin Couture. Duck under by Couture, smartly fires off on the Brotherhood to clear the ring, boot to the midsection, duck through, jawbreaker. Oh, but a big knee by A-Game, backstabber, back up, Uranagi onto the knees.
And look at the teamwork between the two men from T2 Brooklyn.
What a brutal 1-2 cover. 2 count only, and that tag to Calvin Couture, the energy that Calvin brings was just completely nullified by A-Game Alexander and Angelo Carter.
And that just goes to show you what sheer raw power and athleticism can do in professional wrestling. You look at Calvin Couture, he's got the crowd behind him, he comes in, house of fire, looking like he's ready to take the advantage back to his team, and then these men just shut him down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's very, very important for A-Game and Angelo Carter is to not waste this opportunity. You had it with Marco Narciso. Marco was able to make that tag, and I don't think the last thing you want to do is to waste another situation where you're in control in a match like this.
And let's not take anything away from how ostentatious Angelo Carter.
Oh no, the Money Dragon spits fire and it's high priced. Angelo Carter, who again has had great matches with Reese Hayes, has had a little bit of a feud with Junie Underwood as well.
Sure.
Here at 880 Wrestling, and that isn't finished anyway.
And for those watching at home, you might not be familiar with some of these names now, but let me tell you, you're going to see them regularly on your television. And 880 Wrestling is really one of the premier promotions in all the country, where some of the hottest and youngest talent is getting a chance to wrestle. And you can watch it every night here, Thursday, 8 p.m., free on IndyWrestling.us.
Talk about the advantages we have in a market like Pittsburgh, as you see the skyline behind these individuals. And Angelo Carter and Joseph Alexander, both from Brooklyn, New York, and they come all the way to Pittsburgh to battle because of the platform that we have and the performers that we have. Cover.
You took the words out of my mouth, Marcus. I mean, people have realized that Pittsburgh is the premier vestige of professional wrestling for a while now, but getting the opportunity for young talent like this to shine in an 8-person tag match, I know you want your team Black Society to win, but we're all winning by getting a chance to watch them compete.
Look, I'm not going to sell short the Runway, who I absolutely love. This is a tag team that, Calvin Couture, when Calvin was very, very young as a competitor that I booked because I saw something in him. I don't think Calvin truly reached his potential until Tyler Klein came along, and they are former Rise Tag Team champions. They are former tag team champions. PWI top 500 tag teams. Top 200 tag teams.
Top 100.
Top 100 tag teams. I couldn't remember the list, the actual number. But this is a tag team that is a nationally known and nationally recognized tag team, former champions. I absolutely love what they do, and I think they're great mentors for the Den of Desire if they can work out those differences.
Right, and I think this is a good start, right? You put them together.
Talking about differences. A-Game is barking with Honor and RJ Booker, and I don't think anyone is too thrilled with each other. Now, this isn't good.
This is where you have the disparity between Pittsburgh and Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And egos will take hold in multi-person matches like this.
Yeah, there's an argument now, I think. But I think maybe the Brotherhood is a little upset they're not getting as many tags. But now just dropping the Den hand Tyler Klein. And there's still some arguments. And I think this is a watch me. And I just heard that. I didn't really get a good shot of that. But A-Game just all the way to the floor. As Calvin Couture able to sidestep RJ Booker, and now Carter went for the backstabber. Holds on, roll through, takes out the leg, and now Blizzy Blake is the hot tag.
Clothesline. Blizzy coming in with the house fire clothesline. Now he's going to come off. Ducks one. There's a step-up run into the corner. Oh, and Blizzy's heating up now.
This is what you don't want to see if you're Angelo Carter, famouser. And now Blizzy's running hot.
He's going to a different dimension. He's rolling it up, and he's about to smoke it, Marcus.
Going up to those purple clouds up in the sky. No ceiling to stop you. 5-star splash. No, A-Game. German suplex off the pin. And Blizzy Blake is done. Look out. Marco, eat defeat. Those long legs of Marco Narciso. With Bonner, the backbreaker, transition, suplex. And now Tyler Klein catches the hurricane action there. Now Booker, Olympic slam with the city behind him. That's kind of poignant. And now Couture going up.
What a devastating neck breaker there. Let me tell you, the whip you get on your neck there and the damage it does is incredible, Marcus.
Duck through. Carter, spear on Couture. And it looks like Angelo Carter's in charge of the ring right now.
Money Dragon's always going to rise to the top, Marcus.
That is absolutely true. What Angelo Carter brings as a personality is half of what Angelo Carter is as a performer. And now everyone coalescing on the outside, trying to just get back into the ring if they can. But Angelo Carter, they'll look for a moment. Big suicide dive.
And Marcus, I hate to ask a question to my commentator to see who's paying attention, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think the legal men here are Blizzy Blake,
yes,
and Angelo Carter.
I believe so. I know Blizzy is legal. I believe Angelo was the last legal competitor.
Could be Joseph Hagan, too.
Could be. I'm actually not sure as things have broken down. It is hard to see. Oh, there is no ceiling for Blizzy Blake right now. Look out!
From the heavens comes Blizzy Blake.
Blizzy Blake just took out everyone.
And now we got Honey Darling.
And Honey Darling is battling over a baseball bat with RJ Booker. She is holding on for dear life. Do not mess with Honey Darling. Trust me on that. She's got hands of steel. She's got grip strength. And now the referee is fighting it now over on us. Jeez. Well, in the ring, Blizzy Blake just got hit by the Money Dragon. Transition. DDT. And that's a 3 count on Blizzy Blake. He got hit with that DDT from the Money Dragon, and that is it.
Marcus, I can't believe how badly that broke down there.
That broke down very
Bonner, Joseph A-Game Alexander, and the Money Dragon, Angelo Carter.
Well, violence is the answer from the Brotherhood, and A-Game and Angelo Carter picking up a victory, doing anything that they can.
Marcus, you wanted to recruit people in Black Hand Society that went out of their way to just show how violent they are. And you look at what Iron Mike Bonner just did to Honey Darling, the manager.
Yeah.
Beating her up in front of us here.
That's not something I called for, not something I want to see happen.
But you're not disappointed by the result.
Well, I'm not disappointed that we're up 3-2. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Sure.
You know? You got to do what you got to do. And it looks like...
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the